Quote, "The real rulers in Washington are invisible and exercise power from behind the scenes," unquote. Associate U.S. Supreme Court Judge Felix Frankfurter. Quote, "From now on, depressions will be scientifically created," unquote. Congressman Charles A. Lindbergh Sr. So understand that when we have a recession or depression, it is done on purpose by design. And it seems like right now the goal is to destroy the US dollar as the world reserve currency, initiate a global conflict potentially with Ukraine and Israel. As Janet Yellen recently said, the US can afford to fund two wars at the same time, despite the fact that we're $33 trillion in debt and 68% of US service members are obese or overweight. But in thinking about the current situation, I was reminded, in thinking of Western elites, of a quote from Cormac McCarthy's Blood Meridian, from the epigraph. It is taken from the French poet Paul Valéry from his 1895 essay Les Jaloux about the atrocities of the Sino-French War. It was about the inability of the West to see their own culture for what it really was. The essay is presented as a dialogue between the French poet and a Chinese scholar. The scholar says to the poet, quote, "You are in love with your own intelligence until it frightens you, for your ideas are terrifying and your hearts are faint. Your acts of pity and cruelty are absurd, committed with no calm, as if they were irresistible. Finally, you fear blood more and more, blood in time," unquote. Now, this was attributed to the West generally when it was written, but I think that it reflects the narcissistic, self-destructive mindset of Western elites currently perfectly. The scholar was saying that the Europeans weren't as smart as they thought they were. He goes on to explain the folly of technocracy and says that this is why the Chinese empire stays simple. Now, this was 1890s, well before the communist cultural revolution of modern-day China. He says, quote, "Our empire is woven of the living, the dead, and nature. It exists because it sets all things in order. Here, everything is part of history. All things dissolve, and our magnificent mass conquerors lose their way in our yellow water. Foreign armies are drowned in the flood of our descendants, or crushed under the weight of our ancestors. The majestic cascades of our rivers of lives and the swelling succession from our fathers sweep them away. Our politics, therefore, must be infinite, reaching to both ends of time, and leading 1,000 million men from their fathers to their sons in lines neither broken nor tangled. You who know so many things do not know the most ancient and powerful, and you rage with desire for what is immediate, and you destroy your fathers and sons together. Gentle, cruel, subtle, or barbarous, we have been what was needed at the time. We do not wish to know too much. Men's knowledge must not increase endlessly. If it continues to expand, it causes endless trouble and despairs of itself. If it halts, decadence sets in. Here, in order to think, we must know. Others cannot reflect deeply or combine their shapeless notions. Remember that your great inventions had their origins with us. Do you understand now why we did not develop them further? To have singled them out for development would have spoiled the slow grandeur of our existence by disturbing the simple regularity of its course. You can see that we are not to be despised. We invented gunpowder, but for shooting off fireworks in the evening. A clash is seemingly being set up, a clash of civilizations, so the elites can bring forward order out of chaos. I'm interested to know, what do you guys think?